Howdy! In this problem, we're going to find the exact ratios of all six trig functions of 15 pi over 4 without a calculator and without the unit circle, because no one likes to memorize that much information. So what do? Well, we are going to sketch a picture, 15 pi over 4. Let's see, that's definitely more than one revolution around the circle. So we first need to use coterminal angles to find a smaller angle that's coterminal to 15 pi over 4. How do we do that? We're going to subtract. Okay, so we're going to subtract off a few, or one or more, depending, of revolutions around the circle. One revolution is equal to 2 pi radians. So we're going to subtract 2 pi and see what we get. So to subtract that, we need a common denominator. So we're going to rewrite 2 pi as something pi over 4. Well, 8 over 4 is 2. So 8 pi over 4 is equal to 2 pi. So 15 pi minus 8 pi makes 7 pi over 4, which is less than 2 pi because 2 pi equals 8 pi over 4. So where is that? Well, if you know that for reference, right, 45 degrees is equal to pi over 4, I'm going to do this a real simple way. I'm just going to count 7 multiples of pi over 4. I'm trying to write a better pi there. There we go, pi over 4. Okay, 7 multiples of pi over 4, right? So starting at the positive x-axis in standard position going counterclockwise, here's 1 pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4, 4 pi over 4, 5 pi over 4, 6 pi over 4, and 7 pi over 4 ends right there, which means that that reference angle is just 1 pi over 4 or 45 degrees. Okay, so that's a pi over 4 or 45 degree angle. So if you know unit circle, you can do it that way. I'm going to do it using triangles. When you do this with the right triangle using the XYR method, you're going to let the short leg be 1 every time. That makes it easier. So which leg is the short leg? Well, if that's a pi over 4 angle, and this is a right angle, right triangle, then the other angle also has to be pi over 4 or 45 degrees. I'll write that one there in degrees, which means it's an isosceles right triangle, which means both legs have the same length. So we can call X, that leg, positive 1 because we are in quadrant 1. However, because this is an x-axis and this is a y-axis, y is equal to negative 1 since it's in quadrant 4. Okay, now if your two legs are both 1, then the hypotenuse by Pythagorean theorem, or special right triangles, is equal to square root of 2. So I'm letting x be 1, then y would also be 1, but negative in quadrant 4, and the r for radius or hypotenuse is root 2. So let's find all the values. Okay, so let's do this in blue. How about? Okay, so sine of the angle, we would say sine of pi over, actually it said find sine of 15 pi over 4. So I am going to put that. Sine of 15 pi over 4 would equal to the y over the r, which is negative 1 over root 2. That is an answer. If you need to rationalize, we would multiply that by root 2 over itself, root 2, to get negative root 2 over 2. There's another answer for sine of 15 pi over 4. Because sine of 15 pi over 4 and sine of 7 pi over 4 and sine of even negative pi over 4, those are all coterminal angles, so the trig ratios of those are all equal. All right, next we have, let's do its reciprocal while we're here. So cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. So cosecant of 15 pi over 4 is r over y, but it's the reciprocal of sine. So if I flip negative 1 over root 2, I get negative root 2 over 1, which simplifies to just negative root 2. Okay, so there's sine, there's cosecant. Okay, we'll switch colors for the next pair, which is cosine and secant. Okay, so cosine of the angle 15 pi over 4, cosine is equal to x over r. X is 1, so we have 1 over the square root of 2, which is fine. Or if you need to rationalize, same work as up here, so I'm not going to show the work this time, multiply by root 2 over root 2, and we get positive root 2 over 2. So there's cosine of the angle. And to find its reciprocal, or secant of theta, secant of 15 pi over 4, would be the reciprocal of 1 over root 2 is just root 2. And last we have tangent and cotangent. Let's see if we can squeeze those in here. So tangent of 15 pi over 4 is the y over the x. So the y here is -1 divided by +1. That's -1. So tangent of 15 pi over 4 is -1. Well, and then its reciprocal is cotangent, but cotangent is the same because the reciprocal of -1 is just -1. So those are both -1. All right, so there's all your special trig ratios, all of the trig ratios of the special angle, which is 15 pi over 4, doing it with triangle trig without the unit circle.